Hello guys, welcome to Study IQ. I am Safir. In this session, we are going to discuss about the Nagara style of temple architecture and also the variations. So if you see in the previous session, I was talking about the different stages of temple architecture in North India, and I've told you it can be asked as a prelims question as well as mains question, the stages of development of temple architecture in North India. And they can also ask you Nagara style of temple architecture, the variations of Nagara style. So all these are connected. So if you haven't watched the previous video, it will be better if you can watch that because I've discussed a lot of information. But what I'll be doing is I'll go for a quick recap in the first 2-3 minutes, whatever we have covered over there, because everything is there with me in the system, so I can easily cover that anyway. So I'll spend around 2-3 minutes for that, for a quick recap, and then we will go for the variations of Nagara style here. I have done with the Nagara style already, so here I'll be talking about the variations. The sub schools, okay, the Odisha school, the Chandela school, the Salanki school is what we are going to discuss here. So guys, if you see, this is the first topic that we have done, that the first stage of development, and in that you will see the flat roof, square type temple and shallow pillared approach, not for giving support to the structure, rather it kept as a decoration, and then it was made on low platform. And then you will see the temple number Sanchi, Kankali Devi temple, Tigawa MP. These are examples that we have discussed. And I've told you the first temple is actually made not by Hindus, it's by Zoroastrians, the Parsis, in a place Zandial. It's in Iran. Okay, so this is what I have done. And then the second stage, that flat roof square type continued. But pillar, if you see, it's not shallow pillar. In-depth pillars are used or made to give strength or the support to the structure. And then it is made on an upraised platform. Ambulatory passage concept in and around the sanctum and sanctorum. That means the followers can take circle around the deity or the god. An example that I've discussed is Parvati temple at Nachna Kutara. Okay, the third stage, which is very important because this gave rise to the Nagara style of temple architecture, and this is the beginning of Nagara style of temple architecture. Everything in the second stage continued. The flat roof thing is there, upraised platform is there, pillars are in depth, all these things are there. But along with the flat roof, you will see a shikhara, means a curvilinear tower. So this is what that curvilinear tower, which is known as shikhara, this is a flat roof. Everything else is continued, and this is the beginning of Nagara style. So example, Vishnu temple at Diogad, brick temple. Okay, so we discussed about this. Then we started off with Nagara style of temple architecture. So this is what you can see. There is an upraised platform, one of the feature, and there will be mandaps in the upraised platform. That's a prayer hall. The deity also will be kept over there. So this is where the deity is kept. Right, that is what you mean by sanctum sanctorum. Around that you will have ambulatory passage where the followers can turn circle around the deity. And then this is the pillars which has been used to give strength to the structure. And these are the prayer halls or the mandaps. And there are stairs because you are making this in an upraised platform. To go get into that, there are stairs. And this is the shikhara that we talked about. On the flat roof there will be a curvilinear tower. And on top of that, there will be a religious symbol, right? That is what Amlak, something like this. Every religion will have some kind of symbol and that will be kept over there. Okay, so this is what we have discussed. And if you see the features, the same diagram, like there are shikharas, which is nothing but the curvilinear tower. And then there are carved or covered ambulatory passageway around sanctum and sanctorum, Panchayatan style. This was actually asked as a prelims question. It is nothing but the method of temple making, or it is actually the way you place 5 gods in a in 1+4 form. The first is the important deity, the main deity, and then 4 subsidiary deities. Okay, so 1+4. This is what Panchayatan style. And one important fact that I have discussed is there is absence of ponds or water tanks in the premise of the temple. You won't find ponds, unlike in South Indian temple architecture where you find the water tanks in each and every temple, and then crucified ground plan. So guys, this is very simple. We have done it in an extensive way. So I have just summarized what all things we have done so far. Just if you are interested, if you're okay with this, if you know this, it's fine. I'll be focusing on variation now. You can just continue along with that. If not, I would strongly recommend you to watch the previous video so that you will get a lot of good information. Even, see, we are actually under the chapter on art and architecture, and now we are in the Gupta period. Okay, so even Gupta period we discussed before, the caves and sculptures and everything, Ajanta, Elephanta, Ellora, and all these are covered. Indus Valley civilization is covered. In fact, almost all important areas in ancient is covered with this. And the next topic that I'm going to discuss is the South Indian temple architecture. With that we'll cover ancient, complete art and architecture. And then we will move to medieval. Okay, so you can watch the previous video. Everything is already there in the channel. Okay. So let's start with the sub-schools of Nagara style, or the variations of Nagara style, or the sub-schools of Nagara style. Guys, don't mind about the handwriting because I cannot write properly with this pen. So first one that I'll be discussing is Odisha style. So Odisha school of temple making. Okay, so here you will find some changes in the shikharas like what you have seen before, and then there will be some changes in decoration, some changes in boundary walls. This is what predominantly we need to discuss in this. So what is that change in shikhara? So normally how the shikhara is, like there will be a flat roof and then the shikhara is like this. So what you can see here is right at the beginning here, this is the base, right? So this is actually the base. From the base, when the curvy linear tower is starting, it starts with a curve, right? So the right at the base, it starts with a curve. The curve is coming right at the base itself, right at the beginning itself. But when it comes to this style, Odisha style, I told you there is some changes in shikhara. It will be something like this. You have this flat top, okay, and then it will further go like this, like again like this, the straight line, vertical straight line, it will go like this, and at some point of time it will become something like this. Then you will find the curve after some point of time. So not able to draw properly, but I hope you understood. So there will be some straight line, vertical line, which will go from the base. My point is, here from the base you will see the curve, but here from the base you will see vertical straight line going top, and then at one point of time there will be curve which is coming like this. Perfect. So this is actually the change in shikhara, and this is called as Deul, D-E-U-L. Okay, so shikhara in Odisha style is actually called as Deul, which is, you can see, almost vertical till the top, and at the top you will see there will be a curve. Okay, so here from the base itself the curve is there. That's the main difference. Now second one, if you see, I told you some boundary wall, right? So there will be inner wall and there will be outer wall. So the outer wall or the exterior wall are lavishly decorated. Lavishly decorated, but interior wall kept plain. There is not decoration, it's just kept plain. So why I'm saying lavishly is because in the other cases I'll be talking about moderately decorated, so I'm saying this is plain, not decorated. Now lavishly decorated. In one of the styles, Salanki, when I talk about, I tell moderately decorated. That's the reason why I'm using this term lavishly. If I simply use decorated, it will confuse you, because here also decorated, Salanki also decorated. Then what's the difference? Here lavishly decorated, more is there is nothing short, but Salanki moderately decorated. So that's the reason why it's like this. Okay, so that's about the inner wall. And then the mandaps here are called Jagmohan. Sorry, Jai Mohan. Okay, so mandap means the prayer hall. So even the prayer hall, it is a saying there is actually no change in structure, but only in the name. Okay, so mandaps are called as Jai Mohan, Jagmohan. I think it's Jai Mohan. Okay, so just refer it in case if there is any confusion here. Now fourth one, the temples have boundary walls. Guys, normally North Indian temples don't have boundary walls. Normal Nagara style, no boundary walls, but here the temples have boundary wall. Examples I can talk about: Konark Temple. What is the other name? Black Pagoda. Okay, Konark Temple, Black Pagoda, which is actually given by British because of the color, and the black color stone is actually very dominant in this temple. That's why Black Pagoda. It is also called as Sun Temple. Okay, so Jagannath Temple, Jagannath Temple, Puri. Okay, so now there is a speciality for this Jagannath Temple, because I just want to mention about this festival, Nav Kalevar festival. If they are asking, you should be knowing Nav Kalevar festival. Okay, Nav Kalevar. Nav Kalevar is actually a festival which is coming after every 12 years. Now, in every 12 years, what they do is they'll change the deity. I mean, the deity is the same, the images or the idols of the deity will be changed. For the deity, there will be Krishna, Subhadra, and Balbhadra. Subhadra is actually the sister of Krishna. Balbhadra is the brother of Krishna. So those deities will be changed after every 12. Not the deities will be changed, the images or the idols of the deities will be changed. It will be replaced with new one. Okay, and deities are made with wood. Which wood? So 3 god idols are there. Those 3 god idols or the deities will be changed after every 12 years, and it is made up with wood. Which wood they use? Neem wood they use. Okay, so this is about the Odisha style, and then one more example apart from this, Lingaraj Temple. Lingaraj Temple. Okay, so Bhubaneswar. So these are 3 examples: Konark Temple, Jagannath Temple, Lingaraj Temple. I hope this is very clear to all of you. Okay, so this is what you need to know. Firstly, there is some changes in the Shikhara, and then inner wall is plain, outer wall decorated. There are boundary walls. Remember that. Okay, now the Chandela style. Khajuraho. Okay, so I'll just write that also. Khajuraho, how you pronounce it, I don't know. Chandela style. So, why it is Chandela style? It is actually initiated by the Chandela rulers, or it is actually patronized by the Chandela rule. When I say patronized, it has been protected, or it has been cared, or it has been funded by the Chandela rulers. So, by Chandela rulers. Now, guys, if you see here, I told you before that inner wall is plain, outer wall decorated, right? So outer wall, exterior is lavishly decorated, inner wall is plain. But here, inner wall and outer wall, or the interior and the exterior is lavishly decorated. So interior and exterior lavishly decorated with intricate carvings. So that is one speciality, and also you will find a lot of sculptures which are made with erotic themes. So there are sculptures were based on erotic themes, taken from Vatsyayan's Kama Sutra. Actually, Vatsyayan Kama Sutra is actually a book which is talking about around 64 arts, okay, so which is motivated or taken from Vatsyayan's Kama Sutra. Now the third feature you can mention is temples were made on highly upraised platform. It is already there anyway. And then the 1+4 pattern, the Panchayatan style, here there is a small speciality. I told you before, there is one main god and subsidiary god. On top of one main god, there will be Shikhara. Subsidiary gods will be placed in and around. But here, they will give Shikhara or that curvilinear tower to each and every deity. But the main god will have a bigger Shikhara and the small ones have small Shikharas. It's like this. So I'll keep my main deity here. So I'll have a bigger Shikhara, and then I will have small deities like this, right? And then I'll keep small Shikharas like this. Okay, so this is how the 5 gods are actually kept, 1+4 actually kept. So you can see this is giving you an impression of a mountain range, right? So every deity is actually given one shikhara. Okay, small will be for the subsidiary deity and the bigger for the main deity. And guys, not just the Hindu temple, but also Jain temple are also made in the same style. Jain temple also made in the same style. Okay. Example, Khandariya Mahadev. Okay, and then Lakshman temple. Both are in Khajuraho. Lakshman temple. So these are two examples that you can talk about. Now next one, Salanki style of temple architecture. Salanki style of temple. So this is Gujarat. So first Odisha, then Khajuraho means the Chandela style, and then the Salanki style. Salanki or Gujarat. So it was patronized by Salanki rulers, right? Before I told you Chandela rulers. So it was patronized by the Salanki rulers of Gujarat, who were clans of Chalukyas. Now what do you mean by clans of Chalukyas? Clans means those who are from the same Gotra. Means these two are claiming they have a common ancestor. So it is, the clan is actually a concept of, ancestorship. You claim the identity or descendants from the same ancestor. So you both group belongs to the same ancestor. Maybe second generation, not second generation, third generation, or fourth generation, or even fifth generation. Normally fifth generation. That means somehow you are connected by blood. So that's what you mean by clan. It is also known as Gotra. And normally in India, the rule is actually clan exogamy, marry outside the clan, and caste endogamy. So when I say clan, it means these are people who claim the descendants from the same ancestor. They all are the descendants of the same ancestor. They belong to the same community, same Gotra. Okay? Somehow they connected by blood also. Because they have the same ancestor, even if it goes to 5 generations, but still they are connected. That's the reason why in India, when you see marriage rules, you cannot marry your blood relative, especially in North India, not in South India. Okay, so here, as I've told you, first case, exterior is decorated lavishly, interior plain. Second case, both decorated lavishly. Here, both minimally decorated. Some areas it will be kept plain also. So both exterior and interior minimally decorated. Mostly it will be kept plain. Okay, so now second one, all the Surya temple in this style will be facing east. So Surya temple in this style facing east direction. Why it is actually done? It is done for sun rays to enter easily and directly into the shrine. Shrine is actually the area where the prayer hall or the deity is there, the sanctum sanctorum region. So it will be easy and directly the sunlight will be available. That's the reason why it is facing the eastern side. So Surya temples are facing the eastern side. And you will find here, as I've told you, North India, normally Nagara style, you don't find water ponds or water tanks. But there is an exception. This is the exception. So here you will find water tanks. Okay. So presence of massive stepped water tank inside the premise. So, and in that water tanks, again, you will see some deities are kept, some small shikharas are also made in the steps of the water tank. And that's how they have decorated the water tank. It will be something like this. So I can draw some water tank. Okay. So you will be keeping a deity. There will be a shikhara like this. You can also draw along with me, guys, because in case if you're getting it in the exam, you should be able to draw everything that we have shown here. Okay, and that's how you need to explain this. That's how you're going to get good score. So the small replicas of temples were placed on steps of the water tank. So small deities and then small shikharas are made on the steps of the water tank. So here I've told you the Jain temple also made in the same style. right? Here also the Jain Temple are made in the same style. Like in Chandela, Jain Temple are also made in this style. Example, Mathura Sun Temple, Gujarat, and Dilwara Jain Temple, Mount Abu. Okay, so that's about the variation, guys. Understand it very clearly. First, you need to know the stages, the first stage, second stage, and the third stage. And the third stage led to the beginning of Nagara style. We discussed the Nagara style and the features, very clear, and then the variations. So, if a question is coming, you should be in a position to write each and everything that we have discussed here with proper diagram, with examples for each of the case. I've discussed examples for each of the case, for the 3 stages, for Nagara style, for variations, examples are being given. Okay, and diagrams are also drawn for each of these cases. So there's going to be a very good answer if you can do it in this way. Thank you so much for watching, guys. In case if you like the video, give me a thumbs up and see you in the next session. Thank you so much.